Hello? I'm hoping we're live this time. I'm hoping it's all working. So far is saying that no one's viewing yet. Oh my goodness, our first commenter. It is showing up now. Thank you so much for following me to the new live stream as well. I'm so sorry. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the July live stream. I'm sorry once again we had technical issues on this one. Today we are talking about the hype cycle and how short-lived it is. Like, does anyone care about the AP Swatch anymore? Does anyone want one? Is anyone going out of their way to get one? Even watches and wonders novelties. A part of me feels like the hype cycle is moving so quickly. It's a flash in the pan. And we're going to be talking about that later. But first, hey everyone. Hello chat. Can you tell me what's on the wrist and where you're watching from? Hello, hello. We've got people from Scotland. Good morning from New York. Good morning to our friends over the pond as well. If I'm looking tired, it's because I was up late watching the football match last night. I don't know how many people were watching England versus Norway. Excellent game. Although I live in England, I feel like I had no dogs in the fight. I really didn't mind which way it went. The internet loves Norway, so I would have been fine with that. But of course, living in England, you do want to see the place where you live do well. So I was up late. We've got people from Switzerland, Singapore. Yes, wearing my Omega Swatch. Oh, we got a super chat. Rich Mitch in the house, £2. Hi there. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It has been a month since our last live stream. I feel like I should do these more. I quite like doing these. Oh, I love this. We got people in Italy. We've got Woodstock, US. My husband is saying hello from the front room. CS, so he's wearing an FP Journe chronometer souverain Havana dial. I love it. And today I am wearing a new watch for me. I bought another Tag Heuer Formula One, but this is a teeny weeny woman's one. I saw it. It was such a good price. I couldn't not get it. I've wanted a green one for a while. I think I'm still going to get the 35 millimeter, so the more unisex sized green bezel variant, but really happy to find this. I don't know. I think it's because I wear a lot of larger watches. At first, it felt too small, but I think I've gotten used to it. I don't know if you guys find that as well. When you are wearing a certain size watch a lot, whether it's big or small, when you switch over, oh, it's weird. It's weird. Hello, we've got a Tudor Royal. I love it. Big congrats on that. Hello from sunny Lancashire. Welcome. Oh, come on. We've got the Nomos Club 36 with the shorter lugs. So quite a new Nomos Club. Congrats on buying that. That is amazing. Vintage Omega Seamaster Polaris Titanium. Love. And anyone who's just joining, if you just let us know what is on the wrist, where are you watching from? Yeah, it is a beautiful sunny day here in the UK. We went out to the farm with our son this morning. It's been a lovely day. When you have a toddler, though, and you do anything, it feels like you've lived a whole day already. I feel like it's 9 PM. I'm ready for bed. I'm ready to have a gin and tonic and go to bed. But it's fun to be doing a live stream. Welcome, everyone. Right. Has anyone been paying attention to the World Cup as well? Does anyone care about football? I feel like I should care about football more than I do. It was a good match, though. Oh, I love this. We got a Hydro Conquest Commonwealth edition from India. Big congrats on that. Fantastic piece. I love it. I will say as well, so with this Tag Heuer, I sized the sizing the bracelet was actually a little bit weird. The bracelet's thinner and the links are a little bit different from my other Formula Ones. So I've made it a little bit looser than I usually wear. But because it's so warm here and I'm so puffed up, it wears perfectly. With Rolexes, you know how they have the on-the-fly micro adjustment, the 5 millimeters? Um, Sometimes I feel like the 5 millimeters isn't enough. I am a person who retains a lot of water weight. I puff up and I need a bit more. And that's what this is. This must be, 6, 7 millimeters larger. And it's fitting me really nice right now. No, I didn't buy it from eBay. So I've been buying all of my Formula Ones through Mornington Watches here in the UK. So I just go directly to their website. I then email them and say, "Hey, is there some wiggle room in the price?" But I'm sure they also advertise on eBay. So I'm sure the exact same ones were listed on eBay. No, this is the smaller one. This is the ladies one. I think they're 28 millimeters. So they're teeny weeny. Whereas the other one, the unisex ones are 35 mil, but a small feeling 35 mil. Oh, get in. This really says a lot about my audience. We've got a few Nomoses here. We're real ones. This is a well-curated audience if you're all wearing Nomoses. I love this watch. Fantastic. Congratulations. Speaking of which, Nomos, every year they do a forum where they kind of show watch press, etc., etc., low lives like me, some of the novelties that are going to be coming out, and the invitations were just sent out. So I'm getting excited for Nomos forum, which happens in September. Oh, I can't wait. They've been going from strength to strength. Now, let's get into some of the meat and potatoes. Let's talk about watch news. There's been a lot going on. I'm going to try to share a screen right now. You guys know I'm not the most tech savvy. So I don't know if you guys caught this, if you guys saw the Seiko Rowing Blazers Rally Diver just came out this week. So this is their fourth collaboration, if I'm remembering correctly. So this is Rowing Blazers, Seiko, and Eric Wind kind of all teaming up to make something, and it's from the Seiko archives. I love it. I wanted one so bad. I had an alarm set on my phone because it was limited to 2,500 pieces, I want to say, just over 2,000 pieces. Wanted one. My alarm went off and I missed it. I didn't get one. So this year they did 38 millimeters, 38.5 millimeters, I believe, and 42.5. One or the other. I think it was 38. And sadly, I missed out. I wasn't able to get one. And then I looked at the secondary prices on them. Whew, ouch. Cannot do it. They were selling for over £1,000 secondary. Was anyone able to get one of these? Did you guys have your eye on these? And we got a super chat, the original OC, the one, the only, the original $10. Thank you so much. Cheers, Britt. Your car will be there in 30 minutes to pick you up and bring you and George to the Wimbledon Championship. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, you were seated between Princess Catherine and Leo DiCaprio, but of course, wearing a Rolex. Yes, and I assume, of course, Rolex is sending me this car as well. Yeah. I will say, I've gotten a little bit of FOMO when you see people at Wimbledon enjoying it. Yeah. It looks hot, though. Maybe too hot for me. I think I belong in my garage filming and doing live streams. And thank you for everyone who's tuning in. I feel like I have the best audience. I know the timing isn't the best for our friends over the pond. So thank you to everyone who's joining in and making time to be here. Your time's really valuable. So thank you so much for spending it here on this live stream, being Watch Geeks together. So yeah, unfortunately, I missed these. Maybe it's for the best though, because I have a giant tax bill I have to pay this month from HMRC. So maybe the Lord was trying to tell me to be sensible with my money. So next bit of, let's see if I can share a different screen. I'm so sorry. I'm bad at screen sharing. Is that right? Okay. I think I'm getting it. I think we're gonna get better at this tech stuff. Next bit of watch news. I don't know if everyone saw this as well. New Vacheron Constantin 34.5 millimeters overseas added to the catalog. Super exciting. So this has just been added. All of the normal overseas are still there. This is stainless steel with a red dial or a full pink gold with the matching dial. I think this looks awesome. This is a size I can get on board with. And I wanna see chat, what do we think to these? Maybe it's the size is too small anyway, so it wouldn't be for you. Um, but yeah, proportion-wise, my only complaint, I think, would be with the proportions. Let's see if I can actually open this link and share this tab. Oh, it's the dinks. Um, just so we can see the picture a little bit larger here. I think my only complaint would be this is a good picture to show it actually. Is the bezel does feel a little bit large compared to the dial. I think I'd need to see these in the metal before I made my mind up. She says as though she could afford them. Like she's really in the customer pool to get one of these. Um, I think maybe just with this detailed kind of Maltese cross thing going on, it needs to be a certain amount of thickness. I think that's my only complaint with these. Otherwise, I think these look great. Yeah, seeing with the chat here. Okay, there's a little bit of agreement. Yeah, okay, this makes me feel better. And I think I need to see these in the metal before I fully make my mind up on if I think the bezel is too large. I don't know. And there's a final bit of watch news that I wanted to talk about on the stream. And I don't know if everyone saw these. It's the new Studio Underdogs. So the 02 series has had a little bit of a refresh. They have discontinued a couple colorways. So gone is the black one, which had the um, green strap and the kind of white dial. I forget what they were called. Full moon? Something or other. The two remaining colors have been the lemonade Stephanie blue, and we've added two new colors in. So a purpley one and a red E one. Um, oh, hold on. Let's share this tab instead so everyone can see it a little bit better what I'm talking about. Oh, guys, I'm such a bad live streamer. I think I need to practice this more. So this is what has been added in with Studio Underdog. The movement has changed. So the movement has been upgraded, and with it has come a thinner profile. So from 12 millimeters to 11.5 millimeters, movement upgrade from SW210 replaced by the SW200-2M Power Plus, 63 hours of power reserve from 42 hours, I believe. And of course, the new colors. I think they look good. I think they look really good. Yeah, so we're saying we like the red. I agree. It reminds me a little bit of the Manhattan red-ish. Okay, I get this. I feel this. I want to love Studio Underdog, but can't get into it. I feel it about I feel that way about a few things. Not Studio Underdog though. I feel like I'm fully in on it. I think the price point with Studio Underdog is the only thing. It's not that they're badly priced, but they're at the price where it's a considered decision. They're at the, like, bite point of, "Ooh, that hurts, though." Yeah, multicolored looks like fun. Yeah. Oh, hey, 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 welcome. Had no idea Brit did live streams. Loving it with my morning coffee. I mean, welcome. I hope you keep enjoying it. Brit doesn't do live streams. I don't do them very well, but I think it's an art form I need to get better at. And you only get better by practicing and actually doing it. But yeah, there has been a little bit of watch news this week. And now I want to talk about this. Oh, yeah. Let me double check that my screen's actually showing. Yeah. Guys, we're still talking about this, but today we're talking about it because I feel like nobody's talking about it anymore. I feel like excitement for this just died. It died a death. Does anyone feel like the hype cycle is shorter than ever before? Does nobody care about it anymore because it was a pocket watch? I have a few running theories on what might have happened here. No. Yep. Yep. Yeah, the AP Swatch hype died. It died a death. Even Jenny L was able to get one of these, I think, early doors, maybe one of the first ones. And I watched her video and I did like it, but it didn't make me want one. It didn't make me excited. There's something about it that just it was more than a flash in the pan. So I think Swatch Group certainly knew it was gonna be a flash in the pan because they've already gone through this. They've already done the moon swatch, we've already done Blancpain. We know that the hype cycle is short. But I feel like this showed that it's shorter. It is shorter than we thought it was. I think they did have a couple problems. I wonder if this was a wristwatch, if more people would be excited about it. I just think the pocket watch of it all made it pretty niche. I think I talk about this on my podcast with Adrian. I think there's a difference between things that hipsters who live in the city like versus a majority of people. So I'll go to London and I'll see these really cool press people and they're just really, really cool people and they'll be wearing them on their bags or like on their jackets. And I think, oh, that's really cool. Maybe I'll get one and do that. But then I come back to Bristol, which is kind of a weird little city. And I think, no, that wouldn't fit my style. It doesn't make sense for the area where I live. I'm not a cool hipster who wears, teeny weeny stone dial Piagets. Although I love to see the style, it just doesn't fit me, if that makes sense. And I think AP Swatch were kind of stuck in that with it not being a wristwatch. And the hype has died. The hype has died a death. I wonder, I'm going to actually check out the secondary prices right now to see, are these trading over? Does anyone actually care anymore? Even the last time I was in London, um, I've been to London twice. And both times I thought, "Oh, should I just go to the Swatch boutique and see if they're selling these yet?" But I didn't care enough to go. It wasn't even, like, super out of my way. It was just, you know, I don't know if I care. Like, even if I got there and they were selling it, I don't think I'm gonna spend £500 on it. So really quickly before we look at secondary prices together, let's see what the chat is saying. Yeah, AP Fever was a short event fever, yeah, it really was. I feel like half of the excitement was just building up to see what is this going to be, and then once we knew what it was, I don't know. And for me, I still stayed on the hype train. I was still excited about it. I thought it was a really cool interpretation until I went to London and saw the crowds. Talk to people in the crowds. I've made a few shorts on this and maybe some of you have seen it, but there was not a single person in that line who was there because they were a Swatch enthusiast or they really wanted one. Because they collect all these Swatch collaboration watches. There was not a single person. Every single person in the line said, "Hey, I'm just gonna flip it." And it was like a business transaction. It was, "I'm exchanging my time right now to flip this for money." For however much it is, £1,000, whatever it is, but they very much viewed it as a time exchange. And, it was funny, I was at the what's it? Oxford Street Swatch, and they have a lineup kind of on the other side of the door. It was a really nice orderly line actually, and people would go into the shop, they'd pick up their very first swatches, and then as they left, to the left of the door was a secondary line, just a small line of rich people wanting to pay for those watches. So they would walk out of the store immediately to another line of just people saying, "Hey, I'll give you double what you paid for that and take you out for lunch." I watched several people do this. And I think that was the point where it started feeling a little bit gross to me. And it was, oh, this is the charm is wearing off really, really quickly here, and I don't think I want one. And as time has gone on, I feel like no one cared about it. Even like stuff like this, it makes it instantly not cool. So when I was seeing people in London with them, my first thoughts were either, Ugh, you waited in line for that? Or, ugh, you paid over retail for that? And it just makes a product that was otherwise cool very quickly not cool. But yeah, this is just me that vomiting all my opinions. We got a super chat, $5. Thank you so much from the original OC. In 2026, collectors are considering or are consolidating, sorry, and acquiring killer pieces from Rolex Patek. Other brands really don't matter or don't really matter, sorry. Reach for the crown. Cheers. You know, I do feel this, not necessarily with, being a full-on Rolex hype girl, although I am a full-on Rolex hype girl, I am consolidating. So I look at my collection and how many pieces I have, and I think, would I rather have freed up money in my savings account or a watch I don't really wear that much? I think a lot of people are consolidating right now. I think you're spot on there. Yeah, really, who would want one? It's a plastic piece of crap. It's a plastic watch scam. And I think Swatch was able to get away with it with the Moon Swatch. I still have an affectionate place in my heart for the Moon Swatch because, it felt like a fun little moment that we were all a part of. It's an actually wearable thing, although they are pieces of crap. I sh don't sue me, Swatch team, just this is my opinion. I have 2 moon swatches, 2 or 3 moon swatches, no, 2 moon swatches. I have Mission to Earth Phase, the Polar Lights one, and I have Jupiter. Neither of them work anymore. It's not that long ago, and I don't think you can replace the battery. I don't know. I'm gonna make them into Christmas decorations. I'm gonna make them into Christmas baubles for my tree. But yeah, yeah, they're just not the one. Hello, aha, welcome to the live stream. I don't know, I'd love to know in the chat, do you guys have an affectionate place in your heart for the moon swatch or not really? Yeah, in so is the moon swatch, but that was still kinda cool. I agree completely. I agree completely. Oh, the Snoopy was awesome. I have the moon swatch Snoopy white. But it's a watch at least, yes. So the AP Royal Pop had working against it that it wasn't a wristwatch. It was a pocket watch bag charm thing. And although I'm not against, men having bags and stuff, I would say a majority of men don't. They're kind of opposed to that whole idea. And like I was saying with regional fashion, I'll go to London and see cool guys with bags and like little charms on it. And I'm like, ooh, that looks cool. But I know where I live, guys don't really do that. So I think they really niched themselves out of it. Yeah, I like the concept, but durability is such a disappointment. I agree completely. And it's not that I'm expecting the most durable thing on earth, and I get that it is what it is, but also this is a 500-pound item. I don't think people are asking for the world to have a product that lasts more than 5 years, that has a little bit of longevity to it, especially because we know you're not paying a lot on materials in the nicest way. Oh, this is great news. Battery on the Moon Swatch is definitely replaceable. Can DIY or a Swatch store should do it at no cost. Okay, I'll get my Moon Swatch fixed. Yeah, it's really disappointing to see this. I think OC's got a good thought here. Moon Swatch was a daring product. That was a launch at the peak um, at the peak of the hype in 2022. They sold millions of units and generated $1 billion in revenue over 3 years. But it's still a disposable watch, completely accurate. And yeah, I think that maybe is a part of the reason why I still have a soft spot for it, is that it was a daring new thing. I honestly thought the Pops watch was fake. I thought it would all stay within the Swatch group of it all. So I do think it was daring that they went outside of it, but the product itself was wow. Even I was saying before, I keep thinking, should I buy one just to do a review? And I think I honestly can't even be bothered to go spend I can't be bothered to go out of my way to go to a Swatch store and actually do this. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of us are on the same page. And I just feel a little bit weird about the way the watch industry feels right now. It feels like everything is on this hype cycle. So for me, and probably for a lot of people watching, listening, however you're tuning in, a part of the allure of watches is that it feels like this long-term item, this like slow item that you keep for a long time. Something that's meaningful, something you're known for wearing. But the watch hype cycle doesn't reflect that. The watch hype cycle is bam, 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 bam. Here's something new. Here's something new. And before you know it, it's July right now, and Watches and Wonders feels like old news. It was what, 3 months ago? It shouldn't feel like old news, but I don't know. I'm just maybe I'm a little bit burned out on all this stuff. Maybe I need to like take a break, go touch grass. Um, well, this I'm not even gonna read this comment because it's way too nice. Stop it right now. Thank you. I respect the moon swatch way more than the royal joke. Yeah. And I wonder if AP feels embarrassed about this. I'm not going to name my sources here, but I was recently on a press trip with someone who's quite close to Audemars Piguet. And I said, how are they feeling about the launch? And they said they had done an interview with Ilaria Resta and she feels actually no. I'm not going to say the thing I'm going to say because I don't want anyone to get into trouble. But I will say, I think they feel not great about it. Yeah. Sad to see. Sad to see it happen. I thought it was such a good idea. It was such a good concept. And once again, I was there with just a bunch of flippers and still the one excuse I was making for it was, but now a bunch of people are kind of interested in watches. A bunch of people will now know a new historic brand name. There will be a lot of people who didn't really know about Audemars Piguet before. If they'd heard the name AP, they probably couldn't name a single product line with them. And now all these people now know a little bit more about watches and maybe some interest has been birthed. But it really wasn't. Like I had news media and publications reaching out to me and wanting to talk about this. And they weren't wanting to talk about it because they're all of a sudden interested in horology and they want to hear more. They were interested in talking about fights and all the embarrassing stuff that was happening around this. And we were just kind of a part of the joke. So it really didn't create enthusiasts or people who cared. But I think I'm just feeling down about it. Oh, James is now talking about an IWC watch. Oh, you're talking about, oh gosh, what's it called? The kind of spaceman watch. Yeah. AP shouldn't feel good about it. No, they shouldn't. And I feel like they are we all know if you're watching this stream, you're a massive watch geek. So we already know that they're Holy Trinity. They're a brand that's incredibly well thought of and thought of the next cut above. So my problem with this isn't the high low of it all. I really liked the high low. It's the way that it is handled seems like the opposite of luxury to me and the opposite of the reputation they're probably wanting to build. I don't know. I feel like, well, you guys know I make videos about this all the time. I think the industry needs to change. I think it needs to evolve with the times, and it's not 2022 anymore. It's scarcity isn't what it was. Yeah. Yeah, AP must regret the whole thing. Agree, Moonswatch gets a pass. But God, no more, please. Agree. Agree. So right now, if you're following the chat, my lovely husband is talking about a pretty cool IWC. And I want to see what you guys think about it. It's the Venturer Vertical Drive. Do you guys remember this at Watches and Wonders? Share this tab instead. This isn't on the agenda of things to talk about today, but you know, let's get funky with it. Let's do something different. How are we feeling about slightly weirder watches? This is the Venturer Vertical Drive, made with astronauts in mind. Everything was kind of made with that in mind. I keep thinking of, oh wait, hold on. I'm sharing the wrong tab. Share this tab. Aha, there we go. This is the one I was wanting to share. Yeah, love it in pictures. Yeah, IWC, I liked it, but we also have people who think it's horrific. Tell us what you really think. Yeah, I remember, but I also remember I didn't think much about it. I think it's cool. I really like it, but the big problem for me is usually there's a difference between watches I think are cool and watches I'll actually put my credit card down for, because I think these are actually quite expensive. Hold on, let's go to the price. Yeah, 24,000 Swiss francs. Actually, it's not as bad as I remember it being, but still, I don't have 24,000 sitting around, and if I did, there are other things I'd be buying first. It's kinda cool, though. It's exceptionally large. It is way too big. So when I saw it at Watches and Wonders, IWC was actually my very last appointment, and they were a great appointment. They have a fantastic booth. They have their whole own little bar, so I drank lots of cocktails. It was kinda like Watches and Wonders is done. Let's have a drink. Let's look at some cool watches. I wore this over my sleeve, and it was still, like, hanging off my wrist. So great for the large wrist crew, and if the large wrist crew has 24,000 Swiss francs going spare. Yeah, we've got Joel saying, "I'm a sucker for a white watch." You and me both. I've got a weird thing for white watches, and I think I've got enough stainless steel sports watches in the collection. I don't need another mid-century inspired diver. This is the last thing I need. Give me a funky, weird thing. Let's get funky with materials. Let's do something weird. Yeah, any measurements, let me tell you. I don't remember off the top of my head. I wanna say it was 44 or 46 millimeters. It was big. 44.3 millimeters, 16.7 millimeters thick. It's such a big boy. Material, ceramic, and blackened titanium. 100 meters of water resistance. Um, yeah, it's a big boy, and it feels big. I think as well because it is a strap like this, it just protrudes right off the wrist. Way, way, way too big. Oh my gosh, this comment. "Let's get funky with materials. Hublot wants to know your location." And you know what? Hublot can come and find me. I will hang out with them. Funny enough, I was filming a podcast episode with Adrian this week. And for anyone who doesn't know, we have a podcast together. It's called The Movement Podcast. We put the episodes up on YouTube now if you want to watch them. We did one where we talk about watches we feel like we're supposed to like as enthusiasts, like watches we feel pressure to like. I won't say much more about it, just in case anyone is tuning into it later today. Um, but we also flipped the question on its head, like, is there any watches we feel pressure to not like? And of course, the first place everyone's brain goes to is Hublot. I think it was already in vogue to not love Hublot. Hold on, bear with. And understandably so. I mean, a lot of their designs are oh, a lot for the senses. They're one one might say garish. One might say no. Well, yeah, they're garish. They're a lot to take in. Um, and they've had movement problems. They charge way too much money for pretty movements. So if there's one watch brand people are going to say they hate, it's going to be Hublot. I think they are trying to rectify the movement thing, which I respect, but still, it's going to be a long plod to try to claw back any reputation and trustworthiness again. I think Hublot cares about things that enthusiasts often don't care about, and I know they don't care about because I make videos about these things all the time, like materials. I love funky materials. I love doing weird things. Let's push carbon composite. Let's do something really, really tricky with ceramics. And I just don't think watch enthusiasts, their soul gets set on fire by these things. So we'll say, "What the hell is that price?" When really it went behind a lot of the R&D and developing weird new materials, but I think we just don't care. Let's see what the chat is saying. Honestly, funky materials can quite often be cool, but also the execution is questionable. Dear God. That yellow Hublot. Yeah, it's a lot to take in, isn't it? Hold on. Is there another one we can show just so, everyone doesn't okay, guys, don't hate me. I my first instinct is to like this one. Please don't unsubscribe. But still, there's a difference between things that your eyeball sees and you're like, "Ooh, I like that. I can mess with that." And yes, I will give them my credit card. I am sensing some disagreement. I am, sensing not everyone agrees with me. Yeah, I like the cotton candy. Okay, thank you. It is kind of pleasing colors. My eyes my eyes love this so much, and I can't get enough of it. Is that where we're going with it? Oh gosh. Guys, I like it. Okay, I know. Let's stop talking, Brittany, because everyone's judging you. Hold on, guys. Aesthetically speaking, orange? I mean, right off the bat, I've looked at no specifications. I know absolutely nothing about this or how much it costs. I immediately kind of like this. It reminds me of an offshore a little bit. But actually, Adrian and I talked about this in our most recent podcast as well. Offshores. He hates them, and I have a weird thing for them. I kind of like them. So it also makes sense that this is working with my sensibilities. I I don't mind something that's large if it knows it's being obnoxiously large. Not everything in your collection is gonna be an obnoxiously large watch, but every once in a while, it's a little bit fun. Okay, I think my subscriber count might be going down, so I need to stop trying to defend Hublot right now. Nico is having a heart attack right now. Yeah, and I always think about making a video on this, and I think people would think I'm making this video just to be contrarian, and I wouldn't be. I actually just kinda like Hublot. Actually, going back to FIFA World Cup, I'm not sure if anyone saw, but they are not the sponsors anymore. Okay, we're gonna stop sharing that. Just my face now. No watches, just my face. Link for Julian Tornaro. That's our CEO. Yeah. So I don't know why they are no longer the official like FIFA World Cup sponsors, but I was sad to see them go. I wonder if the contract just wasn't worth it anymore. And I would imagine they're maybe financially struggling a little bit right now, as most of Switzerland is. Oh, I've not heard this. So let's talk about this. To each their own, but when it comes to the way a watch looks, Hublot has been pretty scummy. If you've heard Nico's story with them, I have not heard Nico's story with them. Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone knows. Ah, it's funny. I was comparing Hublot to the AP offshore, and then you made the connection. I mean, great minds. We're both seeing it. Yeah. FIFA contracts up, time to go big and orange. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It feels like there is a bit of a split in the road with what brands are doing right now. Some brands are going bigger, some brands are going smaller. So it seems like AP has really honed in on the offshore for this year. Their biggest, most garish, crazy looking thing. Once again, I'm a defender of it. I really like it. It feels like Rolex has been going a little bit bigger. And then some brands have been going smaller. I was just FaceTiming with my gorgeous friends, Vu and Lydia, before coming on the live stream today. And Vu has just, I don't know if he's publicly stated this yet. Oh no. Oh, Vu and Lydia, are you watching? Can I say this? While I stall, I am still no air conditioning. That is completely right. I don't know if Vu and Lydia are watching this and if I'm allowed to reveal the watch that Vu has, but I will say about it, it is a downsized Tudor. It is the most recent Tudor chronograph that has been downsized to 39 millimeters. It looks fantastic on him. And I'm really excited to see Tudor refining a little bit. I'm guessing people can see that I'm a little bit glistening because it's very warm here. There is still no air conditioning. So for our friends watching over the pond, it's very normal to not have air conditioning in the UK. It's weird if someone does have air conditioning. And because of that, during the summers, we just melt. Today, it is 30 degrees here in Bristol. It's warm. It's very, very warm. But it gives me a nice dewy look. Just pretend it's like morning dew, just so dewy. Let's see what the chat is saying. Oh, crumbs, where did it go? There was a specific one. Here it is. Tudor needs to abandon the snowflake. They're gross. They will never abandon the snowflake. It is so deeply a part of their heritage, and I like it. Oh my goodness, in France, it is 37 degrees. Oh, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. It was 35 here a couple weeks ago, and it was so hot. It was 35 with no breeze. You would just be sitting there doing nothing and, like, sweating. It was so warm. It feels as if someone, like, opened the gates to hell right on Europe. It's it's too warm, I can't do it. Oh my gosh, we got a super chat, £5 coming through. Thank you so, so much. I got a new Tudor watch. I got the Tudor Chrono 41 in a panda white dial, a white dial panda. It's too warm to read correctly today, people. Biggest congrats ever. Oh, that's amazing. That's really exciting. I've got a bit of a thing for the Tudor Chronos. I think they're fantastic. Big congrats to you. Yeah. Oh, I think I'd like to maybe get the Bumblebee. I might go to the Tudor boutique and register my interest. I've been trying to save money and be a little bit more sensible. As we said earlier in the live stream as well, just consolidating has been more of the theme. I feel like I have so many pieces and I wear so few of them. To be honest, I think if most of them disappeared and I just had my Formula Ones, I would have enough watches to wear, which is also, for anyone who's just tuning in, the watch I'm wearing today is my new 28 millimeter ladies Tag Heuer Formula One. I'm just generally a collector of things. I'll start seeing things I like and decide that I need them, and I'll obsess over them till I get them, wear it for a couple weeks. But the things I actually wear are mid-sized neo-vintage things, which are reasonably affordable to pick up. So I think I might do a little bit of consolidating. I think it's tricky, and I'd love to hear people's thoughts on this as well. At what point are you allowed to sell a watch that you bought at retail? Because sometimes I'm worried about selling some of my Rolexes because I think, oh, I don't want them to think I was in it for the flip. But also, I don't wear this specific piece anymore or that. At what point would you say it's not a flip? It was just someone who bought a watch then sold a watch. I'm really curious what your guys' perspective on this is. I feel like this could be a video. This feels like a video concept. Oh, everyone, they're really against my Tudor decision here. No yellow, but more importantly, no more Tudor. Guys, I want a colorful Tudor. My everything inside of me is like, Brittany, you need to buy that Bumblebee. But once again, I have a mental illness. Britt, do you think Tudor will release more colors of the 39 Chrono? I absolutely think they will. So this is my opinion. I don't know anything from Tudor. I try to get answers off them. So I went to a Tudor, like cocktail evening thing recently, mostly just to pick their brains on this topic. They are like guarding the crown jewels. They hinted at absolutely nothing. So I've got no information. I would find it hard to believe that they have made like a cast mold and like everything they need to do a 39mm chronograph that fits around the same movement and not implement it in more colors. I think the Daring Collection model, the Bumblebee that they've recently released, I think that's gonna be first of many. That's my fan theory. I know nothing for sure. So, we're gonna start, digging into when is it okay to sell a watch and it's not considered flipping? Nadia Kent, who has inspired many of videos and a lot of my opinions, says 3 years. I feel like that's fair. I feel like that's fair. Why do you not give it to charity or give it away? I mean, um, I I think it's not as this these are pretty expensive things to just give away. For me, it would be a decision on, um, having that money sitting in a pretty sensible savings account that's giving pretty good interest to maybe get something else one day or decide what to do with the money. So, it's not a flip if it's lightly used is what we're going with. I don't even think any of mine could be a flip because they're all so heavily worn. Eh, I hope you like a battered up old watch. Yeah, don't worry about it. If you don't wear it, sell it. Yeah, these are really interesting thoughts. Thank you for letting me. Oh my gosh, we got more super chats. Thank you so much, guys. Super chat, super chat. Original OC, $2. Upvote. Yes, please. I'm so bad at the self-promotion stuff of telling people to upvote. So thank you so much for commanding them. Upvote. Let's get to 400,000 subscribers. Real subscribers. Yeah, hopefully they're all real. I think sometimes there are bots because sometimes YouTube will do like this big mass delete of bots, I think. And then, anyways, that's neither here nor there. Thank you so much. I'm receiving this. We've got another super chat. Martin 5.99. Thank you so much. Brit, sell your watches when and what you want. You own them. Thank you. This is actually empowering me a lot because I feel really funny about selling watches. I generally play for keeps, but I do feel like consolidating needs to happen. I feel like there's just too many. There's too many I'm not wearing. And yeah, it's just something I'm kind of reviewing in my life. My husband says none of Brit's watches are anything less than battered. Completely accurate. If I was to sell anything, they would not be listed on Chrono24 as lightly used. Yeah, give me 20 pound and whatever's in your left pocket. That's about what they're worth now because I've worn them pretty heavily. Maybe I could like pitch it as it adds to the tool watch charm. Okay, it is. Watches are interesting in that way as well. I was watching a reel recently on Instagram, and I wish I could remember who made it so I could credit it. If I'm saying this and it reminds you of someone, please let us know in the chat so we can give proper credit where it's due. But they were talking about how in the car world, people like it when faithful restorations are done. It's actually considered a huge benefit. But in the watch world, we're looking for nothing done. It's one of the things that's kept me away from vintage is because I don't know that world well enough to be able to know what's been done. I don't know if anyone follows any of that stuff. Do you guys buy vintage watches? If you do, what are the things you look for? This is a world I'd like to get into a little bit more, but I find it pretty daunting. This is a long comment. Let's try to read this. For my collection, at least for now, since it's small, I have no sell policy since every one of them is a part of my watch collecting journey. Oh, I get it completely. And I'm attached to them even if I don't wear them often. I make videos about this and I relate to this completely. There'll be some where I think I've decided I'm going to sell this. I never wear this. Let's just sell it. And then I go to post it on Chrono24, I take the pictures, I'm writing the description, and I can't do it for this exact reason. It feels like a part of my watch collecting journey. I feel really attached to them. I'll start having all these memories and I just can't bring myself to sell them. I completely agree with this. Another super chat, super chat. Thank you so much, 249. I have the 15 watch rule above that trade. I feel like that's a fair number. I have surpassed that number if we're including everything. In your 15 watch rule, does this include Casios and G-Shocks? That's my question. Or is this only like watches that really, really hurt to buy? The the fancy ones. Let me know. Yeah, okay, we've got people agreeing. Thank you. Vintage is scary, but it's also where some of the most beautiful watches are, in my opinion. I completely agree. This is exactly why I want to get into vintage, but I also find it scary. Okay, this is why I talk to you guys. Thank you. You guys are so much smarter than me. If you want to get into vintage, call Adam at Menta Watches. He's a thesaurus of vintage information. This is perfect. Oh, and this is definitely UK as well. James Blonde, the one and only. Use people like Falco and Kibble because they know. Okay, so I need to connect with people who actually know what they're doing, and I can't be left to my own devices. Is is what I'm gathering. And I think this is one of the fun things about being a watch enthusiast, because right when you think, not that I think I know everything, but I right when you think you know a lot and maybe there's no other place to explore, you find something new. There'll be a new interest you have, whether it's novelties that come out and they just blow your mind, or if you find yourself going into a new rabbit hole. And that's kind of more me. So I've started getting into neo vintage. I've been finding a lot of joy and zest there. This is where I'm finding some of the best deals. You can get iconic models for pretty good prices. I don't mind them coming a little bit pre-scratched. I know some people are a little bit more funny about that and they only want new watches and perfect pristine. They want to be the first owner. I'm not like that as much. I kind of like them coming with a bit of character already built in. So yeah, I'm really enjoying exploring this side of the hobby. I just wish this side of the hobby would do well on YouTube. I feel like all the things I'm the most interested in, I could make a 30-minute video on obscure 90s Cartier Santoses and discerning and differentiating between them. But nobody really cares about the things that I'm the most excited about sometimes. I don't know. I'm kind of on a policy of one video for me and then one video I think more people will like. Because I do still want to make content that a lot of people want to see. I want to make things that are interesting to people, but then I also want to make things that are interesting to me. So it's a bit of a balancing act, I find. Oh my gosh, another super chat. And this is answering my last question to you. No Casios, only above 1,000. Okay, these are fair rules. I'm gonna go count my watches when I finish this live stream, which will be really soon, I think. I'm starting to lose my voice. And I can only listen to my voice for so long. I can't believe people are still here. Thank you. This is good. I'm gonna count my watches and I might try to implement this rule. Okay, look at it. That's good taste, people. We're finding each other. Neo vintage is awesome. Yeah, although the leg always entails research. That's exactly it. But man, I love it. Thank you for the shameless self-promotion. Come on, hit the like button. Hit the like button. I think it helps more people find these videos. I, I mean, it's pretty niche. I don't think anyone wants to watch a 1-hour live stream of me. One-way projectoring. But hey, thank you guys for being here. I can't believe it. Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna do about 5 minutes more. We'll cap this at an hour. Should we do a little bit of Q&A-ing? If there's any weird questions, let me know. What is your favorite automatic vintage watch? This is hard. You've added the automatic vintage watch under 4K. So the instant place my brain goes to, and it's because I've been looking at these for myself, is the old Speedmaster Reduce. I like the Schumacher editions, Let's pull one up. Subdial in the UK always has these. So let's do Omega Speedmaster Schumacher edition. Let's go to Chrono 24. This is really personal. Sharing my Chrono 24 page. Hold on. How do I share this screen? Why am I such a boomer on the inside? You can do it, Brittany. You can do this. Here we go. So it should be showing it now. I have been eyeing these up for a really long time. I think I like the black dial more, but then I've also told myself, Brittany, do you need another black dial watch? Probably not. I love these. Yellow is a lot for the senses. Maybe if anyone's into the Bumblebee, but there's also black dial Schumachers. Oh, I really like these though. That's a place my brain instantly goes to, and I'd love to know if the chat has any good recommendations on this as well. Oh, hey Britt, any neo vintage tag you'd recommend for a big wrist? This is where it got tricky because once again, my brain first goes, well, of course we're going to now talk about Tag Heuer Formula Ones, but no. For our big wrist friends, that is not where we're going. I'm really into Carreras right now. So I've been eyeing up, and once again, chat, I'm gonna be going off on one here. If you think I'm wrong anywhere, anything you would add in, some career chronograph, I need to say. I'm really into these, and maybe I would go not Tag Heuer, just Heuer. So the career chronograph was designed by Jack Heuer. Fantastic, just a timeless, lovely watch. Okay, we've got another question. It is an question. It is, or is it? It is an exaggeration to criticize those who appreciate the Apple Watch as a watch. Is Quartz calling it soulless when another Quartz watch brand, Casio, is placed at such a high level? I think I know what you're saying in this. I am a bit of a scathing Apple Watch person, but I think that's just because I don't want one for myself. So there is no, I think there's certainly a difference between Quartz and these kind of basically just computers on your wrist or an extension of your phone on your wrist. I think there's a difference between Apple Watch and Garmin's and Apple Watches. And then I would say, what are they called? The little bands people wear on their arms. What are they called? They're super athletic. Hopefully you know what I mean. I can't remember for the life of me what they're called. I think there's a difference between the things people wear as pieces of sports equipment. I'm mean about Apple Watch because I can't imagine something I'd want less than my emails being attached to my wrist. For me, I wear a watch for the exact opposite reason. I love that it takes me away from my phone. I love that it's this beautiful analog device telling me the time in an unreasonably accurate way. But also, I wear a lot of quartz. I have a lot of quartz. I'm a big defender of quartz. Quartz was a massive innovation. Quartz all of a sudden made watches incredibly accessible. And it started showing us that the biggest thing you're actually paying for is design. In my humble opinion, there's absolutely a gulf between the pricing. I think it's revealed a lot, though. I am not against quartz. I see why people are critic of it, but I do think Apple Watch is a whole separate thing. And it's funny, once again, I'm not shilling my podcast, but Adrian and I were recently talking about this when we were filming this week and how, oh gosh, where was I going with this? Oh, I was going to talk about revolutionizing things, blah, blah, blah. This is why I need to script things out. Anyways, I think Oh, I remember. So he was talking about how Casio has sold some of the most watches, maybe the most watches in the world, but Apple has sold more watches than them. Apple has sold an incredible amount of watches in a very short amount of time, and people clearly find them useful. Or a big debate we have in the watch press world. Are Apple Watches indeed watches? Could you call them watches? I would say it the most bare form you can. To me, a watch is something that you wear on the wrist and it tells you the time. Apple Watch does that. Am I interested in one? No. I think it is the latest iteration of what a watch is. And I think there's scares all the time, and mechanical watches has still gone nowhere. So when quartz was making things more accessible, we had the quartz crisis, brands in Switzerland were going out of business, and there was a really big scare around it. But still, mechanical watches have gone nowhere. A lot of these names have been restored, and are still making very, very good mechanical watches. The same thing happened when the television was invented, and people thought, are books not going to be read anymore? But books still sell a lot. It's not that one form disappears because another one crops up. Audemars Piguet is one of the biggest reasons I think we're all still wearing mechanical watches, because they made a shift in the mindset that we all have, that this is now a luxury item because that's harder to produce, etc., etc. Where am I going with this? Yeah, I think there's a lot of snobbery around quartz. I think there's a lot of snobbery around the Apple Watch. Although it's not for me, you don't have to buy it. Whatever. Let people buy the watches they want. It's their hard-earned money. If they want to wear an Apple Watch, let them wear an Apple Watch. All the power to them. I would get a Garmin before an Apple Watch. I have been in touch with Garmin because I'm thinking about making a video. My husband wears a Garmin and he loves it so much. The Apple Watch isn't a watch, says my husband. That's whose comment is on the screen right now. It's a computer that is strapped to your wrist, and one of the many functions is the time. Oof. Wearables, not watches. All completely fair. Oh my gosh, I really went on one for this last one. I've gone over time. I've been on here for over an hour talking to you fabulous people. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I have been trying to become a better live streamer. It's a discipline and a part of content making that I want to get better at. And I can only get better if I practice. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for anyone who sent a super chat. That is way too kind of you. And thank you for just your time and attention. I know your time is really valuable. You have a million things you could have done with your day. Thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye, guys.